How you going? Thanks for clicking on the video. Well, this is going to be an easy one for me. I say that, I'm soaking wet from walking across the paddock, but I'm not doing any bushcraft stuff today. I'm not doing any challenges. All I'm doing is fishing. I'm down here, got some lures, and yeah, see if I can't catch a fish. You like fishing? Stick around. If you don't, I'll catch you in the next video. Let's get into it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to start out with a little surface lure, just matching the hatch. Get a lot of bugs around at night. There we go, first cast. I'm fishing. There are a lot of bass in this river, but whether or not I can catch one, I have caught one before in a previous video, but I always seem to catch more fish in my mind prior to going fishing than I do when I actually get to the water. That's all part of the fun, isn't it? The anticipation of what could be. We have had a bit of rain recently, which isn't a bad thing. Certainly get the fish active, thinking there's food on the go, so they'll be actively looking for it, getting washed into the water. And this type of lure that I'm using, it's making a lot of noise in the water. Probably a good thing too, and it's very murky. They can hear it from a long way off and actively seek it out. Right, I'm still seeing a fish moving down there, so I'm going to have one more cast here. Then I'm going to change location. I do this a lot when I fish. Probably why I don't get many fish, because I'm constantly moving and looking. When you're moving and looking, you're not actually doing much fishing because you're packing up and walking more than actually having line in the water. Alright, make another move. Good thing is when you do a lot of fishing and you don't catch a lot of fish, yeah, you can get frustrated and find it very depressing, but you only need one fish to make you feel good. If you go fishing all the time and you catch heaps of fish, then you go out and you have a day and you only catch one fish, you might feel, oh, geez, I only got one fish. But when you almost never catch any, just one fish is a big deal. That's all I want right now, one fish, just to feel good. Right, I reckon I'm going to work these bubbles coming down here and work that line, even though it's fairly shallow water. It's just that any insects that get in the water, they're going to be travelling down through these bubbles, because that's the wash line. That's where the water's flowing. So any fish will be sitting in that same area to try to get an easy meal as it washes past. That's the theory. It works for trout, but I don't know about bass. Pretty tough going here because there's not a lot of places where you can actually fish from the bank in a position to actually catch a fish and land it. Hence the reason I brought the net. But down there you got 2 or 3 meters of rubbish before you get to the bank, and you most definitely can't walk in it. It's all deep and muddy and terrible. Fish on, fish on. He's only little. Oh, he's really little. Tiny little fish. Alright, well, I'll take any fish, especially when I get it on camera. which I hope I did. Watch out for those trebles. Alright, he's only tiny. Right, I'm going to let this guy go. He's really engulfed that. There he is. Oh, quick release, and he's away. Right, see if I can't catch another one. You might think, oh, it's only a little fish. But when you're doing a fishing video, you'll take any fish. That was pretty cool. A couple of ducks just flying through and they're fighting in mid-air. These are the things you experience when you come out fishing. It's not just fishing, it's being in the outdoors, seeing the birds, and I know there's platypus in this river. I used to fish this same river when I was a kid. Come down here and I think I would have been about 14. After catfish, sit down on the bank, put out a worm and catch catfish into the evening. And here I am, 30 years later, still trying to catch a fish. Right up there, don't know if you picked that up, but that's a big fish, right on the surface. Wow, he was just planing along the surface. No way I can cast to him. He's like another 20 yards past that, but that was a decent fish. If that thing comes in here, I'm gonna have a fight on my hands. Alright, so I realised I haven't shown you the lure that I'm using. So that's it there, little plastic bib on the front of it, spoon to push the water. It's black with little flecks of gold in it. That's pretty much what's flying around at the moment. The cicadas we've got here that are hatching out, and you might hear them in the trees in the distance over there. But that's what I'm using. Going to change over now, put a diving lure on, probably a gold one, just because the water's so dirty here. And then I'll flick that around. Now that the sun's come out a bit, maybe fish are starting to move down a bit deeper. Alright, so I've just rigged up the second rod. I've got a little shallow diving lure there, gold one. So I don't know if you can pick that up in the that backlighting that I've got going on here, but cast it out, give it a go, see if anything's hanging down a little bit deeper than right on the surface. And yeah, that's all we can do really. And this is probably cruising along at about maybe 3 feet deep. This lure is a floater as well, so I can cast it out, and if I hit a snag I can just pause, let it float up over it, and then start reeling again. It's been a while since that last fish, that only fish. Really like another one right about now. Right, change locations and go back to that previous spot, which was downstream, and try our hand there. See if anything's moving, because it's certainly not happening up here. Take my Bushcraft landing net. If you haven't seen the video for that one and you're interested in making netting, really simple to make. Takes a bit of time, but you know, it's fun time. So yeah, do yourself a favour, make yourself a net. I'll put a link in the video description if you're interested in making a net. lot's happening here, so I'm going to call it. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.